Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Manuel Godoy from Black Sands, hitting with Bold Saga himself. He's been writing these comics for quite a while. It's not often that we run into comic book or manga creators who write Christian content, right? Typically, they write children's books or novels. They don't do comics, right? So this is a pretty interesting dynamic, and we're going to be talking to the man himself who's been writing the series. His Kickstarter campaign is in its last 24 hours. So I'm definitely going to be showing you guys stuff about that. And let's get it cracking, man. We haven't been live for a couple of weeks now. So let's go talk about this. Let's also have our questions at the end of our session. All right. So near the end, we'll be answering all types of questions and going from there. For now, please introduce yourself to the crowd, and then we'll begin from there.
Awesome. Hey, Kings and Queens, I'm Ewani Hughes. I'm the CEO of Great Gale, as well as the author and illustrator, the mangaka for Afrofuturism manga, Bold Saga, a story that empowers our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture and the diaspora.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your background, man? Why'd you get into manga in the first place? Was it a lifelong dream, or was it something you said, nah, man, other people are doing it, I'm gonna do it too? What was the reason?
It was like half and half because I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Antigua. So growing up, I got into One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and I loved how they created these stories. But then I noticed there was lack of authentic representation. So from that point as a kid onwards, I was really interested into it. And I got as many how to draw books as I could, especially from the public library, maxed it out at 95 items, all the how to draws from the graphic show and everything. I would not be stopped. And I learned as much as I could. And then I made a manga because every time I look at manga, it's all about cultures. They speak all these different languages, but then when it comes to black characters, they're like rapping ninjas or they're overly fearful. They don't look like ninjas. Rapping ninjas, and he's got no beat. There's no one else rapping with him. It's just random. And he's wearing all white. It's just like, and then there's the overt and then the covert racist overtones and undertones that they put in as well. You know, minstrelsy and everything else. So I was just like, if they're not going to change the narrative, we got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, that's very true. So as far as Bold Saga itself, what sets it apart? It's clearly Christian, but what else is there that we might look into that we might know, right? Like some elements that we might know of or be familiar with.
Okay, perfect. Well, Bold Saga, it is a story about underdogs rising. So one thing that I always get at is that it has universal elements, all about a young boy named Masego. His goal is to be the next Anansi, like his role model, Shaka Zulu. So that's African history and that's African mythology. But life keeps throwing limits in his face. He keeps losing, keeps going through challenges. But through all of that, there's a rite of passage where he finds out what it truly means to be bold. So there's the development, there's going through challenges, there's not letting the limits stop you, but finding something to prevail and finding that core element that keeps pushing you forward. In addition to that, what makes it different is Afrofuturism. You know, you don't get Afrofuturism in manga. You'll get a black character here and there in the background. They're generally a black character in the Japanese world. If it's Christian, it's usually like demons or other things. So there's black angels on it. Even on the cover itself, there's an actual black angel. So like it's rewriting the narrative all those ways, but at the end of the day, when you get past that, it's got a black kid who's working towards his dreams. His family is in his life, and they encourage him and they support him.
Okay, cool. So let's see here. Let's check in on that campaign. Let's see how it's going real quick. Boom. So right now you have 17 hours to go and you're at 2,400 raised. What do people get if they back your Kickstarter campaign?
Awesome. So we have got a lot of different rewards and tiers. One of them is this Emancipation Snapback. And what it has is the Fawahori right on it. And that symbolizes, that's an African Adinkra that symbolizes freedom and emancipation. You can get Bold Saga, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Those are rewards as well. Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. We even have notebooks that say walking into my purpose. Our young kings and queens need notebooks that can just inspire them and encourage them when they go to school and teachers don't even, care or just going through challenges. There's even another one with Shawnee on it that says fighting for my dreams. You can also become a minor character in Bold Saga at the $200 tier. so you can have you or your family member represented. And then there's the legendary tier where you can be a major character in it. And 2 of those are already done. We've only got 3 more slots left, so it's filling up.
I see somebody's been taking some 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 notes over the years.
Yes. Yes.
That's my tier.
Oh my gosh. I remember I was in your 90-day book challenge, and I just remember it was just phenomenal. I learned so much, and it's just really been an essential asset.
Yep. Yeah, that people like putting themselves in books, man. People like being a part of the creation. So I always like that stuff. Okay, so now the idea was this: you start off, you did book 1 and book 2 through straight up grind and grassroots. I'm just gonna pay for it myself, right? Now that you've done enough, content, it's time to go to the community and see whether they're going to support your dreams in the future. Now, you already crossed your initial goal, right? But everybody obviously wants to have a lot more comfort room as much as possible when it comes to Kickstarters, right? So we definitely want to get to those next stretch goals. What is the next stretch goal? What's going to happen if we get to, let's say, 4,000?
So if we were to get to 4,000, what that would cover is the color versions of Bold Saga Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 4, because our first review for Bold Saga, although people love manga in the indie space, they love seeing characters in color. So you'll be able to see all of the hairstyles, all of the characters, the melanin with that actual beautiful color added to it. So that's what we'll cover from now all the way to 4,000.
Okay, that's interesting. And as far as, are you going to color issue 1 then, if that's the case?
Yeah. So it'd be coloring, because we passed the $2,000 mark. We are going to color issue 1, and then at 2,500 we'll be coloring issue 2. At 3,000, issue 3, and then at 3,500, issue 4.
Okay, cool. Now, as far as BSP Comics, how has that been going on? Because you're one of our titles on the app. Right, so a lot of users here, they're users on the app. They might not have read your series yet, but they're definitely about to, right, after we get off this live. So how has the experience been?
It's been honestly amazing just being able to connect with people that love seeing manga, that love seeing Black heroes, Black culture, Black characters. And they've been giving me honest feedback, whether they say that they like the art style or they say that things need to be improved. Both are essential because, people give honest opinions, and I really respect that. And people even say that they love how the progression of the story and how it has changed, and they're looking forward to chapter 3 and 4, which I'm looking forward to the most, because without giving it away, 1 and 2 are build-up, 3 and 4 are action. I love action.
That's funny. All right, so let me go ahead and let me go and check this real quick. Hey, I want to open up the floor because you've given us a lot of information to talk about your series. I want to open up the floor to my audience, let them ask as many questions as they want. So it's a little bit of delay. I think there's like a 2-minute delay, but once they start bringing in the questions, we're going to pull them up on the screen, and then you can start answering them. If you need the Kickstarter link is right here. I'll give you the link in the comment section. So here you go. Boom. So just click that link if you want to support his campaign. You definitely should, right? I always say this: support Black creators who've done the work, right? I don't like promoting people's first Kickstarter campaign or first book. I hate that. I hate that to death because it doesn't prove that they are worth the effort. It just doesn't. Right? What I care about is when people actually do the work, and they've already done it, and they've done all the grind they can, and now it's time to turn it to the crowd. At that point, they got a body of work. They have their reputation on the line now. You ain't got nothing on the line when it's your first book, right? And it's a couple of concepts. You ain't even got a book done. So when you got 2 books already out there, when you're already in the market, when you're already doing all that stuff, now we can go and show our support. Now we can go and put our asses on the line, right? Because every time I talk about supporting somebody on Kickstarter, which I do all the time on my YouTube channel, I'm putting my reputation on the line. You know what I mean? I'm putting my reputation on the line for whoever is the person who I'm promoting, and I don't like doing that unless I know that they're good enough, right? Because and this is definitely one of those projects. So we have some questions here. So let me go and see. Uh, who inspired you to make your own manga?
Nice. Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. He inspired me to make my own manga because when I was even checking it,
One Piece.
yes.
Right. I ain't gonna hate. I ain't gonna hate.
That thing is worth 20 billion, son. That's incredible.
I don't care. I don't care how much it's worth. Hey, I want to talk about that for a moment, though.
Yeah.
So the creator of Naruto, I forgot his name exactly.
Masashi Kishimoto.
Okay, there we go. Right, Kishimoto. Right. He's worth $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto is worth 15 billion.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even worth 1% of his product, his creation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason. I want to be very clear for all the people here. This is the reason why we do what we do and why our grind is so slow, right? We do a lot of sales. Black Sands did a lot of sales. We do a lot of investment rounds and we grow and stuff like that. But we're nowhere near where we could have been at this moment. And the only reason why we're not is because we haven't taken the easy route. We didn't just give our IP to like bigger studios to go and make the first version, right? Oh yeah, I got the first version out. When you do stuff like that, when you go and give out the first version to everybody, right? What happens is you eventually run out of money. Not run out of money, but run out of ownership, right? And a lot of us creators out there, we need to make sure that we're owning our properties, that people are investing, and that they're the owners as well, right? Because I got no problem if I only own 40% of the profits of Black Sands for the rest of my life. If the other 70% is owned by, or the other 60% is owned by the Black community, I'm fine with that, because then I know that all the money that's being generated goes to us. You know what I mean? Like Oda, I mean, all these cats, all these Japanese cats who made these series, they're nowhere near the wealth that they should be having. Not even close. They don't own anything. All they could do is make more manga. That's it. But they really own nothing. And we have to be able to own our own stuff and get that bread, right? As I always tell people, get that bread. Let's see if we got some more for you. Now, obviously, we all know One Piece is his joint. So what else besides One Piece?
My Hero Academia, Avatar: The Last Airbender. What else is there? Dr. Stone. I love the chemistry and the scientific component of it. And
yo, I got a series similar to that. I'm trying to get it off the ground. I need to though, because I love Dr. Stone too. I'm a big Dr. Stone guy.
It's so cool how science.
I love that shit, man.
Oh man, fascinating.
Science should not be that fun, man. This guy, it's like the new age of Bill Nye, right?
On like crazy level.
What else, man? What else? Do you have any non-mainstream ones? They're like those hidden gems that you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever.
Non-mainstream. It's definitely got to be like stuff that I've seen on the Black Sands app, definitely, as well from the featured as well as the indie. Like you got a great body of work and a lot of amazing creators on it. Other ones that I say that are non-mainstream, there was Dragon Eye. Back in the day, that was one of my favorite mangas, but either the creator died or something happened along the way. So it's just life. What can I say? But that
one of my hidden gems would be Psychopaths. Love that damn thing.
Nice.
Psychopath. I like those dramas, man. I like anime dramas, you know. Like shonens are cool for me and all, right? But I just like watching a good 12 episode season that has a definitive end. Like it's over. That's it. I'm sorry. It's over. That's it. You know, it's like too many fillers in regular in shonens anyway.
There's also
here's a good question for you. And you're in graphic design in general, right? You're a graphic designer for life, right? So what's been your biggest obstacle you have experienced? How did you overcome it?
The biggest obstacle is in two. One of them was graphic design in general, because how I got into graphic design is I wanted to be a video game designer, but like 90,000 at Full Sail was just out of the question. So I struggled for years to get into graphic design properly. Got so many C's and D's. Then I became Computer Graphics Club president, ironically. So I was training people in the club with stuff I was failing until I started to understand it. From that point on, from that point onwards, I just got better. And the other obstacle that was hard was finishing chapter 1, because as I was 80% done, my grandfather passes away, unfortunately, in COVID last year, had to go to Antigua while working on his funeral program and his banner. So like my mind was all over the place. But that's why the first chapter starts with "Days may be dark, but still don't give up," which is a quote that he told me from years ago. I want to honor him that way. So the way how I overcame it was basically the actual title of the book, "Brave Onwards, Limit Destroyer." It's a mantra that I basically use in my life to just overcome the challenges and the issues by having braveness, moving forward, identifying the problem, and then overcoming the problem.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't see any other questions right now. I see some people out here from the Caribbean as well. They wanted to give a little shout,
Nice.
There we go.
Big up yourself.
I'm still waiting on somebody to drop a freaking, Jamaican story or a Haitian one. I'm waiting for that. It won't show up, man. Nobody's doing it, man. Everybody wants to do everything but that. It's like, yo, you gotta make one, man. We ain't got the manpower to do it ourselves. We'll support it.
Caribbean's got so much like fire culture. Like in chapter 2, they actually speak like Antiguan dialects, like Wagwan boss. You ain't seeing that in no manga.
Let's be honest here. The Caribbean and places in Central America had a whole bunch of rebellions that were successful. Whole bunch of rebellions that were successful. Haitian Revolution is the most known one, but they were whipping their asses all across the goddamn, New World, right? And there were peace treaties every 5 seconds made by Spanish and French kings all over the place because they couldn't deal with these black people. They were like, nah, y'all must have forgot. We are war veterans. Every last cat that got sold to America, these weren't some random people. These cats lost wars, but they were warriors. And when you're a warrior, right? He says, but so many whips you gonna take before you gonna be like, let's all die together right now. We'll all die today. And they couldn't deal with that. They couldn't deal with it all across the entire place. A lot of places got their freedom, just took it from them. And we don't have those stories in comics, which is weird. I just think it's weird. Everybody wants to make the next Static Shock. Everybody wants to make the next black character in a costume. I want to see some fucking stories about all these rebellions. Anyone will do it. Don't matter which one. Right? Like anyone will do. Just show me something that's they got people taking their freedom. Period. That's how I feel about it.
I believe it's going to happen, man. Because I in terms of like manga from the Caribbean or things that I know that John Jennings is working on something. I think Hard Ears, and then there's Jumbi about like supernatural in like Trinidad and other places. Those are 2 that I know of. But what you're asking for, I believe it will happen sooner than later. Because I'm not the only person from the Caribbean making manga. There's got to be other people out there making what you're looking for, man.
Hey, we got some people doing it because right now a team at Macchiato, right? They're working on my book for Mask of the Orisha. So we signed them to a traditional publishing deal in order to make that series. That series is straight up West African dopeness, right? Yoruba and stuff like that. And that's important because, and the reality is stuff is too basic. I think black people in general, we're too concerned about what Hollywood wants from us and not concerned about what black people want from us, right? Man, this would give me an Emmy. Let me just put a whole bunch of black people in chains suffering.
You're right.
He said, that'll get us an Emmy. That'll get us a Grammy. Come on, we can do it, right? That'll get us a deal at Netflix if we go and put a whole bunch of civil rights people getting their ass beat. If we get a guy who gets lynched for voting, we'll get so many Emmys. Best Actor award. Best Actor? Right? He said, I want to see somebody get. You know how Dexter got freaking Best Actor awards? Dexter.
Oh
that crazy dude, right? I want to see a black Dexter who's a serial killing black slave who just killed a whole bunch of white people and never got caught, right? For seasons, he was just killing them. Like not even like the good ones, the bad ones didn't matter. You own slaves, he was gonna get you. And I want to see that one get an Emmy or a Grammy. Let's see what that happens, right? Probably won't even get past the goddamn production room before they kill it.
Right? I'm telling you. You're right, though, because we need to rewrite the narrative. So many times we try and put, like, the meme how if you're a black character, what can you be? Either a soldier or lightning powers, which is why we had to switch it up in Bold Saga. Another defining element is the languages. It's being Xhosa, Khoi, Zulu. That's actual African languages, because I had to, not even joking, I got the book right here. Like, actually putting it in the book so it's authentic. Even the martial arts, Musangwe, Capoeira, Nguni, stick fighting. So our young kings and queens can see your culture is dope. And then everything else about it, you can see you're from royalty, your kings and queens, even the Adinkras all over it. So you can see your actual culture, not just you're fitting into a world, like just trying to force yourself into it.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so definitely, guys, 100% back this campaign after this video. All right, the link is in the comment section and also in the description. All right, Bold Saga on Kickstarter is 17 hours left, so you don't got time. Don't wake up tomorrow and do it. Just go ahead and do it now. All right.
Definitely.
And if you want, just do a favor for me, just drop 20 on it. Drop 20 on it and roll. All right. We all spent $20 on a lot more dumb stuff than I always tell people. I'll be like, man, I spent $20 for a goddamn burrito at Chipotle. Right, because I gotta have double steak, double queso. So I'm gonna spend an absurd amount of money for a fucking burrito. So I better spend some money on some damn comic books. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for putting your comics on our app. All right, because you didn't have to. You didn't have to. You're not even exclusive with us, right? You just said, hey, I just want to see. I want that audience to be able to have this content. So thank you so much for doing that yourself, right? And we're always working on those indies to get y'all more light. We're trying hard. Thing about it is this app is expensive as hell.
I understand.
So after this investment round, we'll be able to do some major changes. But right now, whoo, that pocket's looking a little tight when it comes to development. That development costs a lot, boy. That development costs a lot. But we're going to get it for you guys eventually. I promise you.
Definitely. And thank you for having this platform and this opportunity. I really appreciate it, because you didn't even have to make the app or even allow indies on it. You could have just had it only featured. So you're literally rewriting the narrative for the culture, so our Black creators can have a platform that's almost like all Negro comics, rewriting the narrative.
100%. All right, so I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Anybody here who is a patron, I'm gonna set up a live video tonight for I think Wednesday. It's gonna be a private video. Okay, this is not gonna be something that we're gonna be sending to everybody. So it's gonna be an unlisted video for our patrons, and it is going to be behind the scenes on the animation. So Black Sands animation. We've actually done a shitload of animation for the Black Sands animation. Right, it's still in alpha, right? So it's early, right? But there's a lot of it. There's a lot of animation, and we're gonna go and get you guys some sneak peeks on that, so you can see everything behind the scenes. It's gonna be very, very, very exclusive, right? Because patrons gotta get, they gotta get their stuff, man. Y'all paying me, so I gotta give y'all the access. All right, so thank you guys so much. Remember, back Bold Saga on Kickstarter tonight, all right? After this video, or I'm going to hunt you down. Watch, I'm going to steal all your currency on the app. I'm just going to zero you out. Y'all going to be mad as hell. What happened? Well, I knew you were in this video and you ain't back that campaign. That's what happened. No, I'm just playing. All right, guys. See y'all later. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's it, man. We're good to go.
Definitely. God bless kings and queens. Have a great night.